Hi all, thank you for tuning into my channel. Welcome to this second session of the course Details of Ozone Technology. If you have not seen the preview and the first session intro, I would suggest you please refer to them and have a look at it. This session introduces the traditional chemical treatment for swimming pools and also the information on the parameters of treatment. It will also deal with the issues that one has to contend with when using chemical treatment. In session 19, we'll be considering treatment with ozone of swimming pool water, some of the parameters that are required and conditional by government authorities, the application principles, and the advantages of using ozone in the swimming pool compared with chemical treatment. In this session 20, we will be dealing with the chemical treatment of sewage and the parameters, the process, and the issues that we may find. Session 21 will be incorporating ozone treatment in sewage. The advantages of using ozone for sewage treatment becomes obvious when we note the superior quality of the water that can be safely recirculated with the drinking water supply. Of course, we have to rethink the so-called terrible to drink night soil water, when in fact, if we understand how the treatment is done, we find that even the river water is contaminated with animal feces and urine, rotten animal and vegetable waste, as well as bird droppings. Therefore, we should not consider the treated sewage water as unfit if it can be cleaned completely of the bacteria and other matters. So ozone is one of the very good methods for treating sewage water, and it becomes clean, and if not cleaner than the normal water supply that is given in the tap. This session 16 involves treatment of a sort of wastewater. The water that has been used in the cooling of the air conditioned chiller or cooling of the cooling systems. The this session will explain the principle of the different forms of air conditioning and cooling systems and how they work, the principle of the working of those systems. The water actually becomes contaminated in a water treatment systems as it brushes the air and collects dust, bacteria, algae, spores, etc. At the same time, water is lost through evaporation and drift, which must be replaced, as well as water lost due to total dissolved solid buildup. The water must also be treated to remove the organic component buildup, as well as reduce the microbiological growth, both for health and longevity of the operating systems. In session 23, I'll be dealing with the fundamentals of the cooling tower systems. We'll be including the parameters and various other factors such as corrosion, scaling, algae growth, blowdown, water usage, etc. that is important to consider when you're applying this kind of cooling systems. Session 24 will continue the information that has been provided in section 23, and that will continue on the parameters, corrosion, scaling, algae growth, blowdown, water usage, etc. In section 25, I'll be dealing with the traditional system of application of chemicals in the treatment of cooling tower water. There's here all the problems will be considered individually and how they have been resolved by using of chemicals. This session will address in detail the advantages of using ozone against chemicals in terms of the microbiological quality, reduce water usage, reduce or eliminate chemical usage, eliminate frothing, eliminate slime, reduce or eliminate scaling, and reduce corrosion. You also reduce the downtime in maintenance costs and lengthen the life of the cooling tower. It improves efficiency of the and increased rate of the heat transmission. Many industries use water for their manufacture, treatment, or other processes. The resultant wastewater may contain many substances and byproducts from the manufacturing industry. They are almost always toxic or environmentally polluters, and as such, there are government regulations regulating the quality of the wastewater that may be allowed to mix with the wastewater or stormwater system. The treatment costs are expensive, particularly if they are used for by chemicals, and they may affect the company profits. Over a period of his sessions, we propose to show the current chemical treatments, the issues and the problems, and the various applications of ozone to treat to satisfactory regulatory standards in very many industrial applications. I have not completed this session, so I shall be giving more detail under what each topic that I'll be discussing in this session. As in session 27, this session also deals with the application of ozone for industries. The, the specific industries that ozone will be applied and how chemicals were being applied, what are the pros and the cons of using chemicals against ozone will also be considered along with this in this session. Session 29, as is with session 27 and 28, it will continue on the other applications for the industries using ozone and chemicals. They are still, it's not completed, and I shall, as soon as it's completed, I shall inform you and when it will be uploaded for the registered users. This session will be dealing with the application of ozone in the agricultural industry. This is quite an important session, and there are a lot of industries in the agriculture that we could apply ozone. And I shall also inform you once I've completed it and uploaded it. Session 31 will deal with ozone applications for air pollution, dealing with all the different types of toxics in the air, the volatile organic compounds, and various other materials or pollution that is created by industries. So I shall be dealing comprehensively in this session. Ozone has been successfully applied in aquaculture, in growing of prawns, oysters, cleaning of oysters, etc. And I will be dealing with some of those applications. I'll also be dealing at the same time in this session hydroponics, which will be how we can grow vegetables, etc. using ozone, and we save 70% of the cost of the water. This session, session 33, will be dealing with application of ozone in the food industries. This will also deal with preservation of food, preservation of vegetables, sterilization, and storage using ozone. We'll be comparing with applications, current applications. Session 34, I will be dealing applications of ozone in the medical industry. I have to state that I'm not a qualified medical practitioner, but because of the fact my medical know-how in biochemistry will allow me to explain some of the applications that can be used in the medical industry, and what I will be dealing will be just the basic information, and particularly this will be useful for doctors who may want to make a progress through research, make applications for use of ozone for some of these surgical and medical applications. Session 35 is a continuation of application of ozone in the medical industry. As I did mention to you, I can only explain to you or bring out to your attention some of the applications that are already in progress and some other potential applications which can be used or successful if research is done in the field. This session is also a continuation of application of ozone in the medical industry. This session 36 is the last of my sessions, and this will deal with application of ozone in the pharma industries. There are quite a number of pharmaceutical industries who are very successfully using ozone in some of their processes. I will be dealing with you such applications, and so that you will appreciate or understand the vast applications that ozone has been very successful in. As a matter of interest, this particular slide is giving you the FDA, US FDA regulations and the slow progress, and why United States is very reluctant to try to encourage application of ozone in the various industries, including medicine, pharmacy, etc. This slide is just for your interest and also showing you the US FDA regulations on ozone to the current state. This slide gives some of my credentials in brief. I studied at Raffles Institution and the University of Singapore for my degrees in chemistry and biochemistry. I then studied for commerce in New South Wales University and law in Queensland University, and was always studied a bit on environmental law. You'll also note in my credentials that I was the president of the Australian chapter of International Ozone Association. This association was dissolved in 2000 simply because it was not properly formed under the Commonwealth law, but the French main association did not give us permission to reform the association under the proper laws. I also have assisted in the development of a patent for a swimming pool system for a client. I embarked in ozone technology in 1984, starting in a swimming pool water treatment, followed by cooling tower water treatment. I acquired the knowledge by extensive research in each of the topics, including applications in the market. For those interested in my experience in the ozone systems, I just want to let you know that after starting the swimming pools, water treatment, I entered into application of ozone for swimming pools, and then I proceeded on in application of ozone in cooling towers with an associate, Ken Bertram of Osgat Proprietary Limited, Adelaide, in 1984. Then, with his help, I've introduced some uh, installation of towers and many others on my own. I've been looking after the towers for a great number of years. I also installed 4 ozone applications in 4 cooling towers in the BHP factory, steel factory in Wollongong. They ran very well. They did all the tests and they were very happy with the application. Then I also introduced in about 94, 95 the technology on a technology transfer to a company called Ozone Technology and Systems Proprietary Limited or Private Limited, we call them in India, in Chennai, specializing in swimming pool and drinking water systems. The water has expanded the ozone treatment in pharmaceuticals, and I am aware of the fact that it is one of the leading ozone companies in India. Now, I also have introduced the application of ozone for vegetable wash, vegetable storage, cold storage, and also we can use for the storage of eggs, and then also remove smoke, cigarette smoke from air conditioning systems, and use a deodorizing of the fishy smell in fish and prawn shops. I would also like to acknowledge that I have taken some of the drawings and pictures from internet, from sources that they have produced, and as much as possible, I have acknowledged them as where the source comes from. I thank these authors for this valuable information for our education systems, our education. I also want to express my apologies if there's any other diagram or picture that I have not duly acknowledged, but I'll be very happy if that can be pointed out to me so that I can edit the system to include this acknowledgement. Thank you for patiently listening to the course details. The first session will be out within 2 weeks of the screening of this session. I hope that the course will be informative and inquisitive so that you can do your own research or you can search for more information on applications. You can also use the information that you have achieved, but because by now you will be pretty good in ozone technology and probably apply that technology for if you want to do a business into some other applications, that will be very good. You medical those people who are the medical, pharmaceutical, dental professions, etc., can of course make the formal applications for from TGA, etc., to try to use ozone in various medical, surgical, and medical applications, and get it approved so that everybody can make or get use of the ozone. Let us hope that we can exploit ozone to the full extent and improve our lives and the environment. The first session will be out soon. See you soon. Thank you.